Hello and welcome to another edition of On 1300. I'm Xochitl Mora, and joining me today is Mr. Charles Amos, Chairman of the McAllen Public Utility Board. Mr. Amos, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Well, good afternoon. It's good to be here.
We always love to have someone from MPU join us here in studio because you always bring such great news about the service that MPU provides to the residents of McAllen. So we have a really exciting update happening that's going to start happening soon for MPU and for MPU customers.
Yes, as a matter of fact, starting in the spring of this coming year, we will start the implementation and replacement of meters throughout the city. Implementing AMI, which is a digital format to where actually it can be read remotely. And then as soon as the platform is complete, we'll be able to provide, and we think at a small additional price, a portal for individuals that would like to be able to read their own usage on a continuing basis. But the most important thing that it's going to achieve is it'll be replacing mechanical meters. Mechanical meters have a tendency to wear out. We do have a replacement program, but these are going to be essentially electronic magnetic, to where you get a more accurate reading of actual usage, be it on low flow, high flow, or any other flow. And more importantly, we'll have the opportunity to read those meters remotely, be able to give our customers data almost instantaneously when they have questions or concerns about their water bill. And we can see patterns in usage with these meters that otherwise you wouldn't be able to detect.
So this is something really exciting. Obviously, everything is becoming digital or electronic. So these automated meters, which will soon be replacing all of the mechanical meters that customers currently have, are also probably more accurate, which is something that's a benefit for the customers at MPU.
Absolutely. It's not only a benefit for the MPU, but it is a benefit to the customer because they will get that accuracy in reading. I think one of the more important things for them to recognize is that, yes, technology has gotten to the point, and this technology is tried and true and has been around for almost 15 years. We originally started looking at this program, I'm going to say 8 years ago, went out for proposals, found that they were a little bit too expensive, and promised the world but didn't quite provide the data that would prove it. And we were able to actually go out for bids ourselves rather than it going through a service, and came up with a much better pricing to do it rather than, I think the pricing originally was somewhere in the neighborhood of $38 million. We're able to do the same amount of work, same amount of replacement at about 18 million, which has cut out that middleman. And we've got this financed through the Water Development Board at a very preferred rate of 1.55, I think it is. And in today's market, that's huge.
Right, so not only is this automated meter going to be a benefit for customers who'll be able to monitor their usage, but the implementation of these meters comes at no cost to the customers thanks to the loan that MPU has secured from the Texas
Correct.
Water Development Board.
There is no direct cost going to the individual. It's going to be actually as part of the program of our replacement that was ongoing anyway. Most new meters now already are being changed over to AMIs. I'll use the example of Tres Lagos. Every meter at Tres Lagos is an AMI meter. Both Sherryland Water Supply, who provides their potable water, and we provide their reuse water, both meters are AMI. So Sherryland's able to read their water, and it's all remotely. If there's a problem, yes, we have the personnel that are going to be able to go out there and take care of the problem. But we won't have to make that constant cost of going out and on a route and manually reading that meter. But I think that the most important thing is that the individuals that we've had as meter readers will actually be retrained in another option of technicians to where they can actually troubleshoot some of the problems rather than just reading a meter.
Right. Well, we'll get to Tres Lagos in just a minute, but this is just a really exciting program. There's approximately 48,000 customers that MPU will be converting or changing these meters to the automated meters. When will this start specifically?
Right now, we're looking at February, April as a starting point. The thing that has kept us from starting sooner has been the availability of the meters. We have, in the system, we have a total of 50,000 meters, in excess of 50,000. We have approximately 48,000 residential meters. And of those, those are going to be the ones that are primarily changed out in this program. We've already started that program, so there's some already in place. And the technology to read all of the meters that we're going to be implementing and provide that portal is now being installed, or I should say our existing system is being expanded because we already have a number of meters that are already AMI. And then in-house we should be starting at about the same time doing larger commercial meters, which are a little bit more, I'm going to say, technical in their installation process. Some of them are in vaults, some of they're larger meters, some of them have special restrictions about them. So rather than having a contractor do them, we're going to be doing those in-house. And that's only about 2 inches and larger. I think there's something like 1,800 2-inch or larger meters throughout the city. So it's going to be, I'm excited about it because it's going to be providing the capabilities for us to see even water pressures throughout the city because of the technology that's involved.
Well, it will certainly be a benefit for MPU customers, and I'm sure that they'll be looking forward to that. So we mentioned Tres Lagos just a minute ago about their reuse water, and this program that MPU has with the reuse water program is actually been recognized by the state as just one of the best programs.
Well, not only by the state, but nationally we've been recognized for our reuse program. We sold last year, I guess it was about 1 billion gallons of reclaimed water, type 1 reuse water, which is the largest amount south of San Antonio. We're the largest distributor of reuse water. We've been providing reuse water for over 20 years, primarily to the power plants at McAllen and Monte Cristo, Duke Energy and the other, for their chilling towers. But now we've expanded this to where we have a consistent type 1 type water. And I wish I had our visual jars. We normally will have 4 jars. One of them is water that comes out of the canals, which is our raw water out of the river. Then we'll have another jar that is sewer water that we normally get. Then we'll have another jar that's potable drinking water. Then we'll have another jar that is reuse water. The first 2 are easy to determine which is which, but you start looking at reuse and potable, it takes a trained eye to actually see the difference. Now there is difference, and you can actually take that reuse water with a couple of more processes and actually use it as drinking water. So this gives us, we're saving that 1 billion gallons of water that's going for irrigation essentially, and we're using that reuse water for that purpose. And that 1 billion gallons is essentially a savings account, if you would, for the growth of McAllen and potable water use.
Right.
But reclaimed water is forever water. I mean, as long as people are using water in the home,
You'll have
there's going to be reclaimed water. So
yes.
It's a process that is growing widely throughout the world. El Paso has now built the largest reuse program, surpassing San Antonio in the state of Texas. As I said, we've been doing it for quite some time. And at Tres Lagos right now, there's 632 AMI meters that are providing the readings for that reuse water that's being used on their sprinkler systems. So once again, it's a win-win. We're saving water, we're conserving water, we're reusing water, and it is, I think, a testament to previous boards and the vision of the city and previous staff members that have brought reuse to where it is. And soon, we will be building one of the few reuse water towers in the state.
Oh, wow.
And that's because of the residential use that we have out at Tres Lagos. And yes, that's where the tower will be located. But it will also provide pressurized, consistent pressure within the entire system, which extends down to the ball fields that are at Trenton and 29th Street. And we're about to complete our reuse master plan. Years ago, we did a master plan coming out of the south plant before we had the north plant. The need arose at the north side, so we did a quick master plan to incorporate it. Now we're dovetailing both studies to where we have an overall holistic picture of what we need to do to provide the most reuse capability at the most efficient and effective manner.
So after this study, the possibility of growing the reuse water program for the rest of McAllen could be a reality?
Certainly. I mean, initial thoughts from our south wastewater plant, water reclamation plant, is essentially running a line that would end up on 29th Street out by the golf course. We currently provide reuse water for the golf course. They use it to water the golf course. And we'll be coming up 29th Street. And if you look up 29th Street, you've got a school and we've got several parks before you get to Colbath, and then you cross the expressway and you've got all of the shopping center that's there and the convention centers. And this reuse water can also be used for chilling towers, such as at the Fine Arts Pod and the convention center.
Sure.
And then if you look to the west, you've got West Side Park. If you look to the east, you've got Boys and Girls Club and another school. They're always looking for water, you know, and for the kids to have grass instead of dirt, I think will be a real advantage to, I'm going to say, our standard of living for all of our folks. Keep going up 29th, and we'll be coming down 29th. It'll be a natural connection and something that we're looking forward to implementing over time.
Well, we certainly appreciate the foresight and vision of MPU to be so responsible stewards of a very precious resource, our water. And so, you know, implementing the automated meters and this reuse program just shows, you know, how responsible MPU is to their customers and with this resource.
Well, each of these programs have evolved over time, and our board has taken the time to learn gain the necessary knowledge to be able to make decisions that are appropriate for McAllen. Conservation of our water resource. That's always been a number one for us. But this is not just our current board. This is previous boards going back 20 plus years. When I first came on the board 20 years ago, I had already heard conversations about reuse. And I was kind of going, okay, what's reuse? And yeah, you start thinking about it. But it has expanded so much now that it's going to be widely used throughout the nation. And it will help resolve water issues throughout the nation because it'll be saving the precious resource for potable drinking and taking that same water and using it again for another purpose.
Sure.
That's the real key, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, we're so excited and proud that MPU is one of the leaders in reuse water and implementing that program for our community. Thank you for all of this wonderful information, and we invite you back anytime.
I'll be back anytime you want me.
Great. So thank you so much for watching this edition of On 1300. For more information on the City of McAllen, make sure to follow us on social media, our website, or of course on this channel and our YouTube channel as well. For the City of McAllen, I'm Xochitl Mora.